Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to A.O.S. Abroad. Thank you so much for joining yet another episode of discussions with you. And today we are going to be talking about the um, last invitation, the invitation for those that actually got the opportunity to have below 400 CRS scores. Now, many of you may be asking, how does that relate to Canada immigration? When it comes to Canada immigration, you can relocate different ways, in through different ways. We have the study route, we have the visit route, we have the work route, we have the asylum route. But the route I'm talking about today is the permanent residency route. And this is the route that allows you to come into Canada and become a permanent resident directly. In other words, it allows you to become a full immigrant, a landed immigrant in Canada. This is the opportunity that a lot of people want to actually use to come into Canada because it allows you not to worry about changing visas. You understand, every single year or two times in a year. You don't have to bother about changing your status or bothering about losing your status and say, okay, my visa has expired. I want to renew my visa and things like that. So for the express entry, the program express entry is a program for permanent residency. You understand, into Canada, and it is that program that allows you as a foreign national to come into the country and become a permanent resident of Canada directly. Now we have many people who are making use of that program. I remember my cousin. My cousin also made use of the express entry program to come into Canada, right? So now, we're going to talk about the latest express entry draw that saw the CRS cutoff score drop below 400 points. We were meant to talk about it before now, but we didn't have time to talk about it in our previous live sessions where a lot of questions were asked by those that actually attended the live session then. So today we want to now talk about it, and we're going to be talking about it in relation to one of the articles that we actually saw online. You understand, the cicnews.com website. If you go on that website, it explains to you the concept of immigration and how you can learn more about immigration in respect of the articles that they publish on a daily basis. So we're going to be making use of this particular article, the article by Ashesh Mosapeta. You understand? He published this article day before yesterday, 17th of December 2025. And in the article, they stated that Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, they have just issued more invitations to apply ITA through the what? Through the express entry system, which is the program that allows people, as I said, to come into Canada as permanent residents directly from their home country. So in the article, they also stated the immigration department issued 6,000 ITs in a single draw for candidates with French language proficiency. And I always talk about this every time I have the opportunity to say it. Canada immigration, one of the surest ways you can use to come to Canada and become a permanent resident of Canada is through your knowledge of French. Whether you have the knowledge of French before now or you are trying to gain that knowledge of French, you understand, before you work on your immigration. One of the surest ways for you to become a permanent resident of Canada is to actually know the French language. You understand? And once you know the French language, you can use that knowledge of your French language to take an exam, which we have different exams. We have the TEF Canada exam, the test d'évaluation de français du Canada, and we have the TCF Canada, which is test de connaissance du français, TEF de connaissance du français du Canada. You understand, the TCF Canada. And we also have DELF et DALF, which is Diplôme d'études de la langue française et Diplôme d'approfondi de la langue française, which are both for the Quebec immigration. Now, many people, I remember, because I am a French coach, I teach people French, and that's one of the things a lot of people through us actually use to come to Canada. You get, just like people are preparing for IELTS, preparing for CELPIP, preparing for PTE examinations. We also have people that we are currently training at A.O.S Global that are also training for French exams, the TEF Canada, the TCF Canada, DELF, and DALF examinations. So that's one of the ways. If you are looking for one of the surest ways to come into Canada, one of the surest ways right now to come into Canada and become a permanent resident so that you don't need to bother about, you understand, seeking visas, switching visas, if you come as a student, you have to switch visa. If you want to stay back in the country, you understand, after your studies, you want to perhaps get your postgraduate open work permit if you qualify. If you don't qualify, you'll be looking at pursuing your permanent residency. You understand? Or pursuing any work route or visit route. But with permanent residency, you don't need to focus on seeking any visa. Once you become a permanent resident, all you just need to be bothered about is perhaps even wanting to seek citizenship and become a citizen of the country, right? So to be considered in this last draw, you understand, candidates needed to have a minimum comprehensive ranking system CRS scores of 399. Now, this is one of the lowest CRS scores that we have seen in this year. Those that want to come into Canada and stay in Canada permanently and become permanent residents, many people need to have 500 plus or even 400 plus points. But only the French category has consistently been picking people from, you understand, 400 to less than 400, which today we saw 399. So one of the best ways, I repeat myself, one of the surest ways for you to become a permanent resident of Canada, for you to be able to come into Canada and stay in Canada for life, is through your knowledge of French. Even if you don't know French. Okay, Strawberry Late is saying, can I get some advice? Okay, advice on what exactly? If it is advice on what we are talking about today, which is those that are getting selected for Canadian immigration, one of the best ways you can actually come into Canada, as I've said, is through your knowledge of French. If you have known French before, yes, you have to take an exam to actually show your knowledge. You understand? To show a proof of your knowledge. If you have not even, you understand, known French before, we have people, as we said, at our webs on our, you understand, in our company, in our firm, that we are currently training for French language proficiency. Nobody was born speaking French. You understand? You learn those things. Whether you are old, I've seen people that are older than 40 plus, 50 plus, learning French because they are determined to make it happen. If you are determined to make it, some of you will say, oh, I'm 40 plus years, I'm 50 plus years. They told me I cannot come to Canada through express entry again. They are right in a way, if you allow them. You understand? They are right in a way if you allow them to actually determine your future. If you don't allow them to determine, those that are advising you that it's not possible to come into Canada through express entry, if you don't allow them to determine your own future, if you want to be that the person that will determine your own future yourself, you can learn French, you can use French as a yardstick. Many people that are getting selected through the French language proficiency category, many of them, normally they don't qualify for express entry. Normally, they don't qualify for immigration to Canada. Normally, it is not possible for them to come to Canada through express entry. But they make sure that they don't give themselves excuses. We have some people that are plumbers, electricians. We have people that, you understand, they don't have millions to go to school with. Because some people say, okay, they told me that one of the ways I can come to Canada, the surest way is to study. I say, yes, anything they tell you, if you believe it, that is your own reality. You get, anything they tell you and you believe it, that is your own reality for Canadian immigration. But if you want to be someone that will not just take what people say for it, but work towards your immigration because your life depends on it. And the truth about it is, truthfully, your life depends on it. For those of you that are looking for greener pasture, those of you that were like me, that were exploited in your home country, or some people that started businesses and instead of you doing business, it's business that was doing you. If you were like me that time, that you were being exploited, now they are talking about the Tinubu era, wanting to collect tax for some people. I'm already seeing some people protesting for taxes. In Canada, I've said it before, when we are in Canada, we pay taxes like dutifully. Because why? I've said it times down number. Some of the people that pay taxes in this country, the money they collect from government is more than the money that they use in paying taxes. Is more than the money they use in paying taxes. So why would those set of people not pay taxes? Because they know that they will benefit more from the government than the government collects from them. Let's leave that one aside. What I'm saying is, if you want to leave your country and you don't want to be like the other people that would let other people that are giving them wrong advice determine their future, determine your own future yourself. I have someone that I'm teaching in Kenya right now, and she has been learning French for 4 months. She herself has been testifying that she has learned more with us than when she was learning with on Duolingo. You understand? She has learned more, and she has understood that this thing is not difficult. It's just based on how determined are you to actually make sure your life gets better. Because if you do it like a do or die affair, that is either I learn French or I cannot go to Canada. If you do it like a do or die affair, believe me, you will learn the French. And you not only learn the French, you will also help you, your spouse, and your children. And even though you are Romodomo, your grandparents, your grandfather, your grandmother, your grandson, you can use this opportunity to also migrate yourself and your close family and also your relatives, your extended family to Canada. Because right now, Canada is looking for those that can speak French to be part of their what? Their population. So the question is, how determined are you to make sure that the excuses that you have been given since all these days that did not improve your life from where you were, you will not give that same excuse so that you'll be able to come to Canada and you'll be able to better the lives of you yourself and your children. So people say they are doing their immigration because of their children. The truth about it is some of your children may not be available to learn the French. Even if they learn the French, they may not be able to take all the family, you, the children, the father, the mother, and everybody. But the truth is, you want to come together with your children. You want to come together with your spouse. So one of you that you are the adult, you need to take charge of your immigration as if it is a do or die affair. If you don't take charge of it, you will keep complaining about the Buhari. Okay, it's not even Buhari, the Tinubu era. You will keep complaining about your country, but you will not go far in life. It's not that I'm sorry for people. I'm telling you the fact, because we have noticed it. People that complain, that make excuses of not doing things, at the end of the day, instead of them progressing, even if it is difficult, but they are progressing, the fact that you keep making excuses, you keep giving excuses, you understand, blaming others for your own predicament, at the end of the day, you will keep on being in that state. Thank you, Hayo 2811. I see you followed our live creator, and you also you have become our number two fan in the fan club. Really appreciate you. Just got to be my number one gifter badger, and you sent hearts me. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. So what am I saying in essence? What I'm saying in essence is people are relocating to Canada every single month, every single week. The question is, will you be part of them, or will you be part of those that will make excuses? Will you be part of those? So, I once did a calculation before, and I said the amount people used to learn French, it is divided by 10 times or divided by 20 times what some people are using to actually go to school. You say you cannot learn language. You say you cannot, you understand, train for language to get an extra language that will pay you more dividend at the end of the day. Because some people that come to Canada, all those people that always complain, there's no work, there's no work, there's no work. Many of them cannot even speak good English, so they cannot get job. It's just the truth. But you that can now speak English and can now speak French in addition to English, you are not like the other Kpuwuntus. You are not like the other Talikanians. You are not like the other so-called migrants. Why? Because you have something that is in demand in other industries, in so many industries, that before they pick people that can speak English alone, they will pick you that can speak both English and French. Do you understand what I'm saying? Oh, I said you're welcome. Thank you, sir. So don't see, when you keep on complaining. I was giving someone one analysis. I said if you go to school and study masters or PhD in Canada, or even diploma, last college diploma or postgraduate diploma, okere ju, you did not spend at all. You will spend $10,000. You did not spend at all, like the cheap, those ones that they always call the cheap schools. Oh. Because sometimes it always vex me. They will say cheap school, but you will still be paying thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, and it's still cheap. It's still cheap. It's not like the one that you'll be paying 20,000, 40,000, $50,000. You understand? Per year or per year. And they will say 10,000 is cheap per year. Meanwhile, if you study French, the beauty is you will not just come to school, as some people are coming to school. There's one of our people now that she has been in school for 2 years. When we were in Canada as permanent residents for that amount of 2 years, she has been in Canada for that 2 years studying. The French that she was running away from, the other things that she did not do, the IELTS that she did not do to become permanent resident, and this woman is a chartered accountant. She has ACCA, she has ICANN. All those things she did not do that time. She has finished school now, and they have given her 3 months, 90 days, because that is the standard. If you have finished school, you get 90 days. 90 days to either get another visa or to leave the country. Now, because she has been looking, I go just spend about $27,000. And they go not tell me say I go back. No, it's not possible. And of course, it's very logical. You can't spend that amount of money. And at the end of the day, if you desire to stay back, they will not tell you to leave and you not leave. No, you pursue another route. You pursue another visa. Because study visa is not a permanent visa. Study visa, you cannot be studying forever. It's just the truth. You can't be studying forever. So it is not a permanent visa. It is a temporary visa. If you study 1 year, it will end. Study 2 years, it will end. Study 3 years, it will end. People doing bachelors, studying 4 years, it will still end. That's why we see some people. When us we are in Canada and we are counting time to become citizen, they are counting time to when their visa will expire. And when their visa will expire, that is when at the end of the day they will now be pursuing what we pursued back home in Nigeria. Opportunities are everywhere. Opportunities are for people everywhere if you are willing to take it. If you are not willing to take it, you will be part of the other people that are complaining that Canada is scam, Canada is scam. But the opportunity to become a permanent resident is readily available to you, as it is also available to other people. So some people are wiser in taking it, while you understand, complaining, saying some people, one of the protests, some people always protest, well, that IELTS, maybe I'm from an English speaking country, IELTS, I'm not meant to be writing it. They're just meant to give. And imagine people from US are writing IELTS to come to Canada and become permanent residents. People from UK, Ireland, you understand, Australia, they are writing IELTS to come to Canada to become permanent residents. So you are not in Nigeria, moving to Africa. You understand? And you are complaining about not allow about them telling you to write IELTS that you don't need IELTS. See, don't deceive yourself. The faster you come to realize the process and you abide by the process, the better your chances to get a better life. It's just as simple as that. Some people, one of the things that is impeding their progress in life, impeding their greener pastures they are looking for, is the exam. And the faster you understand it, that it is not all pathways that requires you to learn French, or that requires you to, you understand, take an examination. It is not all pathways. Let me tell you, study permit doesn't require you to take any exam. Yes, sir. Work permit doesn't require you to take any exam. Visitor visa doesn't require you to take any exam. All those pathways I talked about, they are temporary pathways. Because why? Canada realizes that, okay, if you come here as a visitor, you visit for at least 6 months. At the end of the day, you have to leave the country. You understand? Legally. Okay, you come here as a student. If you study 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, at the end of the day, you have to leave the country. So they don't take you as a full resident yet, as a permanent resident yet. If you come to Canada to work under contract, 1 year contract, 2 year contract, they require you to leave the country after you are done, right? So they don't see you as a permanent person yet. It is only when you want to become a permanent resident, no matter the program you come through, no matter the program you want to do in terms of permanent resident, you need to take a language exam. It is important. It is necessary. It is compulsory requirement. If you don't take the exam, you are not ready to become permanent resident, except you do asylum. And that is if you get approved, you become a permanent resident. If you don't get approved, you get deported, right? You get deported. So what I'm saying in essence is that one of the barriers of success of some people is the exam that they don't want to take. And the truth about Canada is Canada will not force you to take any exam. Just like the friend that I told you that she came to study, Canada did not force her to take exam. You understand? She came to Canada, she studied, even though she had a master's from Nigeria, she still came to do diploma lesson, and she still paid $27,000. That $27,000, when I was having a consultation with her, I told her, I said, to learn French, you understand? To learn French for 6 months, you can't spend $1,000. You can't spend $1,000. You can't spend less than 20%, 200% of what you spent for education. You can't spend it. And the benefit is, even if you learn the French, the thing she did not learn 2 years ago when she came into Canada is what she's learning right now. She's inside Canada and she's learning French because she wants to become a permanent resident. And there's no other way that is visible for her until she actually learns the French. She's learning the French with us right now at A.O.S Global, and she's paying, you understand, less than 20%, 2,000% of what she spent in school. And she's saying it now that, let's say she knew that time, she could have actually what? She could have actually do French JJ from Nigeria. You understand? Not come through study, because she has paid a lot in study, and at the end of the day, it was not guaranteed for her to get what? for her to get permanent residence. So what I'm saying in essence is, don't fall into the trap of thinking that if you come into Canada as a student, you will become a permanent resident because you spent money. Mm-mm. It's not possible. Because you spent tens of thousands of dollars does not mean they will give you permanent residency. What you came to study is what they will give you, which is the diploma or the degree or the certificate you came to collect. Apart from that degree, diploma, or certificate, if you want to become a permanent resident, is a new application entirely. You want to become a permanent resident after you became in as a visitor, is a new application entirely. You want to become a permanent resident after becoming a temporary foreign worker with 1 year contract or 2 year contract, is a new application, a new program, a new processing for visa you do entirely. Do you understand what I'm saying? So know the differences. Permanent residency is a program that there's nothing like switching. You can switch, yes, of course, but the process is different. It's not that you say, because I have study permits, let me just switch and get permanent residency and not follow the process. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to follow the visa processing. So what we always tell people, what we always suggest to people is, start early. Do you understand? Start early. Don't assume and let your assumption kill you. There's one of our family friends. Sometimes, sometimes when you are telling some people some things, it looks as if maybe you are lying. So when they come to Canada, especially when they do it themselves, and they don't want to hear you, or they hear you, they think this guy is talking fabuna. It is maybe well, okay. He came to Canada. That was around 2023. It was to start program in the year 2024. The school he came to, he couldn't afford it. But mentality of travel agents, now they have told them, travel agents have told them from Nigeria, that when you come to Canada, you don't look for job, Jare. There's work and study when you look for job. You understand? You just be using the job, German, use it and pay your school fees. Okay. He came to Canada himself. That time when he came, everybody will see and congratulations. So okay, I don't do am, okay, congrats. But the truth they don't tell is, me, it's not that I have job that will give someone like that. I cannot employ someone like it is illegal employment. And because of that, I can be fined by the government of Canada. Even though I have business in Canada, even though I have a company in Canada, there are procedures to follow. There are procedures. Because some people will think maybe they are family members, they are friends. You understand? You cannot assist them. I cannot assist you and jeopardize my own status in Canada because of you. I don't know, maybe I'm making a point. I can't assist you and jeopardize my own status because I want to help a family member, right? I will do things that are lawful so that me too safe, I can be lawful in the country. So you can't tell me to employ, I can't employ you. You understand? Number one. Number two, if I'm to search for job for you, safe, you have to go through the normal process. You can't go through illegal routes to look for job. Do you get? Because as a student, you are to only work part-time. That's just the basis. You can't work more than 24 hours per week. Lawfully, we're not talking about illegal things. So lawfully, you can't work more than 24 hours. And even before you start working, you must first report to the school first. First report to the school, first start lectures, attend lectures. But some people will come to Canada, they will say, no, the school, they just use and enter and they don't want to attend lectures. But they don't even go and enroll themselves fully. Imagine, the man didn't even go and enroll himself fully in his school. He said, no, that school is too much. Their school fee is too much. He came into Canada. He now go and apply to another cheaper school. I said, no problem. Canada even allows that. You can apply to another school, no issues. But inform IRCC of what you did. That, okay, you came into Canada with school A admission. But when you landed in Canada, you got school B admission. Inform IRCC of that change so that in the future, it's not going to be that, oh, you lied to them. It's not going to be that you misrepresented yourself, and as a result of that, they will give you misrepresentation, you understand, and will deport you back to your country because of that issue. So inform them. He never informed the IRCC that he changed school. Even the school that he even now later even got the admission, the second school he got the admission for, even though that one was cheap, it was still about $10,000, $8,000 per year. He couldn't still afford to pay that because he has paid all the money that he has bought. You understand? All the tickets and everything used to come to Canada. He has spent everything. He was not saying he was looking for a job. That he needs job to be able to pay his school fees, to be able to, and you can't do jobs when you have not even fully enrolled into a school. You have to enroll into legally, oh, because they have to clear you as a student so that you'll be able to actually inform the employer that yes, you are truly schooling in this particular school. And you understand, before you even start looking for job, because looking for job is another thing. Part-time jobs is not even easy to find, is another thing entirely. But those, so the, like, what we finally found out was the man didn't even understand the process of immigration. He didn't understand the do's and the don'ts. He didn't understand. At the end of the day, when he too saw that the jobs he was seeking, he couldn't get it. The school that he got into, they have started lectures. He couldn't pay for the normal, the first payment, the first, you understand, to be able to even start school, to be able to enroll to the school. At the end of the day, he just came into Canada. The way he came was the way he left. The way he came was the way he left. He just to stay there for, you understand, a few months. At the end of the day, you understand, he didn't enjoy his stay. He just came, and even though he never even informed us before he even left Canada, he said he just got tickets, bought ticket, and then at the end of the day, he just left. He never even. So what I'm saying, in essence, is don't fall into that trap of thinking when you come here you figure it out. Sometimes figuring it out may just be one trap that you yourself will regret at the end of the day when you land in Canada. Canada is a very good country to stay. It's a very good country to immigrate to. But do things legally. Do things that will give you peace of mind. That is the thing. Do things that will give you peace of mind. Because some people, the peace of mind they don't get, you understand, in Nigeria or in any other country, when they come to Canada, it may be times two. You understand? Meanwhile, people coming to Canada, they are meant to get a better life, less stress, less wahala when they come. But because they came in the wrong way, it's going to affect them. So we are talking about the CICnews.com blog article, and we said those that were selected for the French language proficiency category draw for Express Entry, they created their Express Entry candidates profile before 11:43 p.m. Universal Standard Coordinated Time (UTC) on August 24, 2025, and many of them were given. You understand? They were invited from scores of 399 upward, right? Now, if we look at what Canada has done, the summary of Express Entry draws in 2025, we have had draws from Canadian Experience Class Program, from Provincial Program, we have had from Healthcare and Social Services Occupations category, we have had from French Language Proficiency category, we have had from even Education, you understand, category, and Trades category. So all these categories that we have had, it just shows one thing. It shows that Canada is actively selecting people to come into Canada and become permanent residents. The only thing is, are you qualified to get selected? If you are not qualified to get selected, you have to work towards getting and gathering the required documentations. And to gather the right documentations, you can, you understand, first of all, understand. The first thing you need to know is understand the process of Canada immigration. Canada immigration is straightforward, but that does not mean it is easy. That does not mean, you understand, anybody can just get it. It is, it has some do's and don'ts, so that those that truly are qualified for it will get it, right? So if you want to learn how to get it, how to actually move to Canada quickly in the year 2026 that is coming on, even without you having travel history, you can click on our link, the click on the link in our bio, or AOS Global, aosglobal.org. That's our website, aosglobal.org. Once you click on that and you visit that website, then we can actually assist you to check how to gather the required documents that you need for what, for Canadian immigration, especially through the what, Express Entry. However, as I said before, it's not only the Express Entry program that is available for people to come through. You can come through one of the programs I came through, which was provincial nominee programs, PNPs. I came into Canada through the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program. That is one of the programs that is very, very, very much known in the Canada immigration sphere, and a lot of people always get selected through that program once they qualify. I want to drink tea small. So what am I saying in essence? The draw that we saw, the last draw, was the second French language proficiency draw held by IRCC within the last 3 weeks. You understand? Within the last 3 weeks, that means within this December, Canada has picked people for French draws. You understand? Twice, or between November ending rather and last week. So between these two draws, the department has issued more than 12,000 invitations to French speaking candidates who continue to lead among all candidates in the express entry pool for ITA issuance. And as of the last draw, IRCC has issued 48,000 ITAs in this category over just 9 draws. What's that telling you? That is one thing that is giving me a validation of what we are doing at AOS and AOS Global. And that validation is we continue teaching people French because that is what Canada is currently looking for right now. It is one of the major skills that you can actually acquire that Canada would see. There are some people that they don't even have masters, they don't have PhD, they don't have 5, 10 years of experience, you understand, work experience. They are 40 plus years of age, 50 plus years of age, but they are still getting selected through French. Why are they getting selected through French under express entry? Is because of the French language proficiency they have. If they don't qualify under healthcare, if they don't qualify under trades occupation, they don't qualify under education, they don't qualify under provincial nominee programs, the next thing many of them are qualifying for is the French language proficiency occupation jobs. Right. So what I'm telling you in essence is that French is now a level playing ground for those that can intellectually learn the language. And of course, the language, it's not going to be easy. I'll not be frank, I'll not lie to you, but it is worthwhile. It is worthwhile. We have people that are 30 plus years of age, 40 plus years of age, 50 plus years of age that we are currently training in our, you understand, program, our French for TEF Canada or TCF Canada um, program. So if you want to learn that program, if you want us to train you on that program, go on our website, aosglobal.org, or click on the link in our bio. Once you click on the link in our bio, you are going to be able to actually um, go on, first of all, to learn about how to migrate to Canada, and from that to also apply for our French language, you understand, programs. So basically, they said this draw, the French language proficiency draw, is the sixth express entry draw of December, and it follows the Canadian experience class draw on December 16, a provincial nominee program draw on December 15, and also the healthcare and social services occupation draw on December 11. So thus far, IRCC has paused 100, has issued 117,998 ITs through the express entry system in the year 2025. So express entry draws this year have primarily focused on what? On PMP draws, with the remainder of express entry ITAs, you understand, dedicated to the CEC, the Canadian Experience Class candidates, and candidates with French language proficiency, and those in the what, in the express entry priority occupation categories. Now, if we look at the table, we would see that the number one category of people that were selected, or groups of people that were selected to immigrate to Canada permanently, are the provincial nominee program candidates, which with 23 draws in total. We also have the Canadian experience class category, or you understand, program, that is with 15 draws on total. We have the French language proficiency draws with nine draws total for this year 2025. We have healthcare and social services draw with 6 draws for this year. We have education draw with 2 draws. You understand? And we have trade occupations with just 1 draw, right? So ITAs by stream, if we look at ITAs by stream type, they are detailed below, with the majority of invitations going to what? Candidates in French category draws and the CEC program. What's that telling you? That's telling you that Canada is picking more people for French language proficiency than any other program, than any other pathway you can use to come to Canada. The French type draw has gotten 48,000 plus ITAs issued. right, for the whole year of 2025. That is the highest. The highest, even Canadian Experience Class program is just 36,850. So more close to 12,000 more ITs have been issued, you understand, for French than even those that are inside Canada, because Canadian Experience Class program are for those that are inside Canada, those that have studied in Canada before and those that have worked in Canada before are the ones that get selected through that program. So Canada is picking more people from outside Canada to come into Canada and become permanent residents than even those that are inside Canada. What that is telling you is that you have to be wise and sharp. Follow the winning, you understand? The winning group. Follow the group that gives you more chances of getting selected. It's not going to be easy, but that does not mean it is not achievable. You can learn French, and the beauty of French learning is that it doesn't even end with your immigration alone. When you finally land in Canada, you can also use your knowledge of French to get jobs faster than people that will be in Canada and will not have that French experience or that French knowledge, right? And as we've said, we train people for French. If you want us to train you for French, go on our website, aosglobal.org, or visit the link, click on the link in our bio. Once you click on that link, we are going to be able to see you. You understand? You can start with our introductory free French course. Once you start with that, we can also enroll you to our paid courses. I always tell people, if you study abroad, study in the UK, in Canada, in US, the money you will pay for just one program, 1 year of program in any of those colleges, polytechnics, universities, at least you will spend $10,000 at least. Okay, Ju, with the cheaper options. Oh. But when it comes to learning French, you won't even spend $1,000 on learning French for months on end. You won't spend you want up to $1,000. So the amount that you spend to learn French is drastically cheaper than the amount you use to actually go internationally to actually study one diploma, degree, or certificate. Number one. Number two, the benefit that you get from learning French is more than the benefit you get from you understand, going to a school as an international student, and you understand, taking any program, whether certificate program, diploma program, or degree program. Do you understand? Because with the study visa, you just get a temporary residency. Temporary residency of maybe 1 year or 2 years or 3 years or 4 years in the country. But with French, you becoming, you understand, a French speaker, learning French, you can use that French to become a permanent resident of Canada directly from your home country. And once you become a permanent resident directly from your home country, you don't need to bother about switching visas again. You don't need to bother about, oh, my visa want to expire. How can I renew it? You don't need to bother about that. All you need to bother about if you want to become a citizen of Canada is to become a citizen of Canada after 3 years of staying in Canada legally. Do you understand? So what we are saying in essence is if you want us to train you for French, again, I repeat, go on our website, aosglobal.org, or click on the link on our bio. You see the link, our website link there. Once you click on the link, you can learn how to migrate to Canada in this next year, 2026, and how we can actually assist you through French, which is one of the pathways we have currently actively selling for those who want to actually learn French. You understand, to come into Canada. So it's very much possible. I always talk about my story when I have the opportunity. I got selected through French. It was one of the things that got me selected to come into Canada was my French language proficiency, right? And that time, the province that actually selected me, I applied through provincial nominee programs, the PMP programs, right? And if you look at the draws, French is the number one draw with the highest number of ITs, invitations issued. Canadian Experience Class is the number two, you understand, in the sequence. Healthcare and social services is the third, you understand, highest, with 13,500, you understand, ITs issued, invitations issued. The next one is provincial nominee programs with 9,775 invitations issued, before education with 3,500 ITs, and trade with 1,250 what ITs. Now, if you look at that, what is that telling you? That is telling you that those that are getting selected to come into Canada right now are French speakers. The number one people that are getting mostly selected are French speakers. And as I told you, I got selected through French language skills, because my French language skills was what boosted, you understand, my Canadian immigration journey. You understand? Because French language is a priority, is a priority in the express entry, you understand, program right now. That's one of the major priorities they are using to pick people now. Some people, as I said, may not have masters. When I came into Canada, I didn't have master's degree. Even till now, sef, I don't even yet have master's degree. I don't have master's degree. I don't have PhD. You understand? I don't have postgraduate diploma. I don't, though I have a bachelor's from University of Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria. But that was the only thing I had, right? I didn't have 5 years, 10 years of work experience that I could use. I just used about 3 years of experience, about up to 3 years of experience to move to Canada, right? Though one thing that helped me was my age again. I was that time below 30 years of age when I moved to Canada. But we have seen people. I remember one of our um, students, Dr. Lawal. The man was 46 or so that time. He is now in Canada, you understand, by virtue of the French language proficiency he was able to gather. He was 46 plus, but he was still coming to class every day when I was still in Nigeria. He was 46 plus, but he was still learning the French and making sure that he didn't give excuses that he's already above 40. He didn't give excuse, because at the end of the day, he would always tell me he's doing this for his children. But he too self, he said he too wants to travel because he's tired of his work. He's tired of this that time where it was post-COVID. Post-COVID time was tired of the lockdown, tired of the fact that they didn't pay well. You understand, the companies the school he was working for, he was fed up. You understand? So instead of him complaining that okay, age is not on my side, I'm 40 plus, I will not collect any points under express entry. It's even 0 points for me since I'm already above 45. He didn't complain and let that complaint or let that excuse tie him down to do what he was meant to do. He still started learning French. He continued attending classes. He made sure he did everything that he had to do to make that a possibility for him and his family. And as they say, the rest is history. The man, he was a, what they call it, he was a lecturer in Kwara State University in Nigeria that time. But now he's now working with University of Manitoba, Canada right now. Do you get? Because he's already in Manitoba, Canada. So what we are saying in essence is your age shouldn't be a limitation for you. The fact you don't have masters, you don't have a bachelor's, you don't have PhD, it shouldn't be a limitation. If you are determined to come into Canada, if you are determined to make sure that yes, this 2026 that we are saying, you would come into Canada with your family, you can. You may need to work towards it, because you can't just say it by mouth. You need to work towards it. You work towards it, but it's very possible, right? It's very possible. Any level you are right now is very possible. Any way you are right now is very possible, right? And we have many people that will say, okay, I have work, I am doing work, I am busy in my, you understand, office. When I come back late, is this? I said, the beauty of it is our own timing doesn't work with your own timing. You understand? So sometimes when you are just coming back home, we are still during the day. You get? So many of even our classes, the classes that I do, the trainings I do, people that I teach French, many a times, you understand, the difference in time zones assists, because most times when they are still sleeping, we are already awake. You understand? When they are awake, we're already so we are able to schedule French training classes in a way that it favors both parties, in a way that it helps, because once they are done with work, they go back home, they can actually resume classes. Before they leave for work in the morning, they can actually schedule classes, we can start classes. You understand? Start taking them. So what we are saying in essence is if you want to learn French, it's very much possible. Go on our website, aosglobal.org. Once you go on our website, you'll be able to see how to actually enroll for our French program. Many people are taking it right now, and you also can actually learn French right now and come into Canada with your French language proficiency, even if you don't have a master's, even if you don't have travel history at all, you don't have PhD degree, you don't have PhD, PGD, your age is already above you, 40 plus years of age, 50 plus years of age is still possible for you if you are ready to make it happen, right? So just like I said, the province that selected me was the province of Ontario, and that's why I'm living in Ontario, right? I got selected through the provincial nominee programs, especially the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program. As at that time, they didn't even have the French language proficiency category of express entry. What we had that time was express entry general draws or the provincial nominee program what draws, the PNP draws. And that was what I targeted. I targeted the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program, and the stream of program I targeted was the French speaking skilled worker stream. And of course, the rest is history. I was able to actually get selected through that particular stream of programs. And actually, I even got selected by two provinces because I created expression of interest, EOI profiles. I created EOI profiles in four different provinces. I created profiles in Prince Edward Island, in Saskatchewan, in Ontario through the express entry, British Columbia, and the rest. And I also got to apply under what Quebec skilled worker program. And Quebec selected me, you understand, through their own Arima portal. Likewise, Ontario also selected me through the express entry profile. And of course, because I wanted to come to Canada, especially I wanted to come to Ontario, I selected Ontario and I started working on my visa processing towards the province of Ontario. So it's very much possible. If you also want to come into Canada by virtue of your French language, we can train you for the French language. We can assist you to actually learn French language quickly so that you would also make it happen for yourself, and you and your family members will be able to migrate permanently to Canada. So thank you so much everyone for joining. If you have any questions, you can drop it on the comment section. Let's be able to have some of those questions. If you don't have questions, don't forget every week we always come on live at least once to, you understand, give you news updates like this about Canadian immigration, to answer your questions, and to actually assist you to understand travel to Canada much more better. So don't forget, any other time we can also come on live to, you understand, continue our discussion in relation to this topic or any other updates we get. And we do hope you have a nice day ahead. I know some people, we are still in the evening. This is still 8 o'clock here. I know some people are would be mostly in, you understand, maybe in the mornings or in the night. At night, anytime you are. Thank you so much for joining, and I do hope to see you in our next live session. So bye for now, everyone. Bye bye.